Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Love at First Sound. Almost said first sight. My name is CJ. This is Abigail. We are back with you, and we have had a wonderful weekend thus far. Hope you have as well. If you enjoy this content, please hit like and subscribe. Also, go ahead and hit the notification so you will be notified when we post new videos on Fridays. So, for this video, we want to talk about our experience at the movie theater, specifically the movie that we went and saw recently, where I used headphones. That was Inside Out 2. And I just wanted to give my opinion sort of on what I thought about the headphones. And so, what they do is a couple of different things. So, first of all, they describe what happens while the movie is playing and any sort of description that's needed, and then they also give dialogue for clarity as far as if there are other languages being spoken, they
Mhm.
will interpret what is being spoken like into English and then overlay that and describe what's being said. And so I personally, again, this is a personal opinion, don't necessarily like them because, in my personal opinion, it takes away from what is being heard and the what I like to call the heard experience of the movie.
Mhm.
Um, but again, I realize that that may be different for the rest of you, and that's totally fine. It's just for me, I can usually interpret what's happening based off of different sound effects or just music that is very helpful to anticipate things happening. Uh, just different things like that. But I don't know. I just to me, I feel like the description kind of takes away from that. But I could also see how it could be very beneficial. So don't take this as me completely, criticizing, critiquing, or discouraging the audio description, because it is a great
Mhm.
thing to have. I'm just telling you kind of what my personal opinion is, but it does also give at the end and at the beginning and the end of each movie. It
Mhm.
gives different, like it'll tell you what the credits are saying,
Mhm.
who's casted in the movie, any sort of credits uh, before the movie starts or after it's over. So it
Mhm.
is it is uh, really really cool.
Yeah, sometimes we find them to be helpful. And if you've never experienced audio descriptions, if you subscribe to any streaming services like Netflix, the majority of the streaming services now have audio descriptions as an option that you can turn on. So if you're curious what it sounds like for someone who's blind, go find your favorite show on Netflix or whatever streaming platform you're using and turn on the audio description to see what is being heard by someone who's blind. So most movie theaters now have this accommodation, and we're glad about it because it's extremely helpful for us if it's a movie where foreign languages are spoken, because then I don't have to try to whisper read all of the subtitles to CJ.
Although she is really good at
I prefer not to do that. It makes the viewing experience better for both of us. We both get to just kind of sit back and enjoy it, and also the people around us don't have to hear my voice the entire time. The other topic that we wanted to discuss today is the anniversary of the ADA. It was signed into law 34 years ago, and it's the Americans with Disabilities Act for people who aren't familiar, and it was signed into law on July 26th, 1990. So, same year that CJ was born. So, it's easy for us to remember what the anniversary is because it's however many years old CJ is. um, but we are super thankful for this act and to be in a country that was a pioneer with this act. It encouraged many other countries, like Japan and Sweden, for example, to enact their own laws to make things accessible. The main parts of the act made it accessible for people with disabilities, whether you be blind or deaf or maybe you're in a wheelchair. It made it accessible for them to use public transportation, to use public sidewalks, to have access to federal buildings, which had started in the 1970s. But this broadened the access even further. Um, and this is something that we think that everyone should care about because these are basic human rights. And it just acknowledges that we're all created equal. And since we're created equal, we need to have equal access to the resources in this country. So we're really excited that we're part of a country that puts this into place, but we're also excited to see people continuing to build on it and go further than the law requires. So some examples would be the headphones that CJ mentioned for people who are visually impaired at movie theaters. It can also be closed caption devices at movie theaters for those that are hard of hearing. Um, you will notice sometimes crosswalks will make sounds or verbally say that it's safe to cross the street or not safe to cross the street. There have just been a lot of improvements over the years.
So before the ADA came into play and proved that I was a poet and didn't know it, so I had to show it. Um, that was kind of clever.
You're
Children
always clever.
didn't have access to whatever they needed and to be able to learn in public schools. And so that made that possible. So really cool.
Yeah, and things like CJ being taught Braille in elementary school and being pulled out for a special class, right? You were pulled out in elementary school to learn Braille. And then as he went through in the years, he was guaranteed access to the materials that he needed being put into Braille.
And go on field trips too. That was kind of nice.
Yes, and that's right. It did guarantee that you could go on field trips
And
because
sleepovers and talent shows.
well, and really all of the activities, it became open to you because you had to have the same access as everyone else had. Yeah, so we are thankful to be part of a country where, CJ got the education that he did. And, even getting mobility training with your cane, that happened in school too, right?
Mhm.
So we're really thankful for all of that access. Um, and I think that brings us to our final portion of this video. Barbie, Mattel just released its first ever blind Barbie this week. And I'm excited about that because it means inclusion for more children. Now, Barbie is not exactly CJ's cup of tea. He didn't exactly grow up playing with Barbies, but
Gracious.
we're going to show you some video of Barbie and why we're excited about it. I think it's amazing that Mattel is trying to create Barbies that reflect a more inclusive world. And they are starting to make Barbies with disabilities. So we're excited to show you guys the blind Barbie now. Okay, so this is the new blind Barbie. The packaging is easy to open for those who are blind or visually impaired. And it also features Braille on the first box, which you can see CJ reading here. It simply says Barbie. But getting Braille on a packaging is so cool for those who are blind or visually impaired. They don't have to rely on others to read the packaging for them. Okay, so this is the Barbie, the blind Barbie that is now unboxed. You can see she has the traditional white cane with her, and her arm also bends to be able to give her that full range of motion. You'll notice, like we said before, the glasses for the light sensitivity that some people who are blind or visually impaired experience. And then the eyes are focused upward and slightly out. The skirt is textured And that just gives it a little bit of an interesting flair for people who are blind or visually impaired. But this doll is a great way to be inclusive, and we're really excited that Mattel is producing something like this.
Well, for this evening's video, that is going to do it. So thank you very much for watching. Please make sure once again to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Also go down and hit the notifications so you will be notified when new videos post, and we will talk to you again soon.